Moments from now, the man accused of kidnapping and killing 34-year-old mother and teacher Eliza Fletcher will appear in a Memphis courtroom. Cleotha Abston will be arraigned on charges of first-degree murder, premeditated murder, and murder in the perpetration of a kidnapping. Officials found Fletcher's body on Monday behind a vacant property in Memphis.
Her family released a statement that reads in part, quote, "We're heartbroken and devastated by this senseless loss. Eliza was such a joy to so many. We are grateful beyond measure to local, state, and federal law enforcement for their tireless efforts." Joining us now is criminal defense attorney Bob Bianchi, host of the Law and Crime Network, also former head prosecutor for Morris County, New Jersey. Good morning to you. This is moving quickly. This is the second arraignment in 2 days. As soon as they found her body, Bob, they upped the charges yesterday. Where does this go from here, given all of the details also that Gary Tuckman reported last hour we do have now from this affidavit?
Well, Papa, you can be assured that as a former homicide prosecutor myself, I mean, this is a textbook investigation. They did a great job. But this is exactly the kind of person that you want to put away for as long as possible. This seems to be a random victim. There may be a motive for money. This guy, he's got an extensive juvenile record. He had a previous kidnapping charge of which he served 20 years. He was there about 24 minutes prior to the abduction itself, which to me sounds like there was some level of planning and plotting that went on here. A completely innocent victim. So from a prosecutorial standpoint, this is what prosecutors live to prosecute for. So obviously they're going to go full tilt. They've got great evidence from what we understand right now. Even though he may not be speaking, at least that's what we're told as of this point in time. They've got DNA evidence, they've got the vehicle, and most importantly and sadly, they have the body. And with the body, you can be pretty much assured there's going to be a lot of trace evidence and a lot of information they're going to get from that, which is going to pretty much lock the conviction in. But again, as a former prosecutor, I can tell you that while it's great for the family that there's justice that's going to be brought to this particular individual, it's never going to be enough when the judicial system ends. And hopefully, if this is the right person and he is convicted, he goes to jail for a long time. Nevertheless, the family is going to suffer a tragic loss. And I'll just add one last thing. One thing that gets me uncomfortable when you see a case like this is the randomness of it. And this is why guys like me that do this kind of work say all the time to our wives, our sisters, and anybody who goes out there, you got to be careful all the time. It's sad to say that there are people out there that will prey upon innocent people like this. And that's what I think makes it so chilling to many people.
Chilling, heartbreaking for the family, no question. As you say, Bob, you mentioned the evidence. Some of that evidence is video evidence, security cameras that captured both video and still images of the car across the city, kind of establishing a map of where he went and when. Tell us how, and of course, her there before she was abducted. How does that factor into the case going forward?
Yeah, huge, Jim. I mean, they're going to be following all the electronic data, the phone data, which they've already done, as you can see in the affidavit. They're going to do a deep dive through all the social media history, all the electronics, everything, internet searches of both the defendant and the victim to see if there's a connection, to see if they can tie that in, but moreover, to see what level of planning went into this, if any. But I suspect that there was. With regard to this defendant, of course, as prosecutors, we want to make sure that there was nobody else that was involved in this as well. So that electronic evidence is going to be the electronic footprint that's just going to add more damage to his case.
Bob Bianchi, thank you very much for your insight in all of this.
My pleasure.
Well, this morning.